Hey guys, it is Mr. NHL back with another video, and today we are talking about a team called the Minnesota Wild. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video, don't forget to leave a like and smash that subscribe button because we just hit 202 subs and our channel is growing pretty quickly. Now, before we address all of the Minnesota Wild, oh yeah, they're doing really well, blah 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 blah, we should really talk about their injuries. Kirill Kaprizov, the guy with the same jersey number as Connor McDavid, is on LTIR. This forward is dominant in Minnesota with 34 games played because he's on LTIR with 23 goals and 50 points and is still leading the entire team in points, goals, and least amount of games played. Another thing we should also mention is because Kaprizov was put on LTIR, there was a very big announcement on the Minnesota Wild's Twitter account. Not to roast the other teams, but I guess Minnesota Wild's Twitter account or X account is way more active in telling everything you need to know about their team, unlike the other teams. Anyways, first of all, the Minnesota Wild have recalled forwards called Brendan Gaunce and Liam Olgren, I think I mispronounced that, but whatever, from Iowa. Forward Kirill Kaprizov has been placed on LTIR, long-term injury reserve. Another thing we should also mention is that right after, they said Kirill Kaprizov is eligible to return to the Minnesota Wild as early as January 18th. This is a big date for their team's leading goal scorer, injured since the NHL's holiday break. A lot of people might be asking, so how are the Minnesota Wild doing in the standings? Surprisingly, they are putting together wins. They are second in their division with 58 points in 45 games played. And just to back that up a little bit, in the league, they are fifth in the entire league. This is a good team. Another thing we should also mention is that their division, the Western Central Division that the Minnesota Wild are in, is absolutely hammering with good teams. First place in their division is the Winnipeg Jets with 63 points. The Dallas Stars with 57 points in 43 games played. The Colorado Avalanche with 45 games played and 55 points, which has had a bit of a weird start. The St. Louis Blues, the Utah No Name Club, the Nashville Predators, and the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, this team is filled with some very high-quality playoff contending teams. Another thing we should also look at is, are there any other Minnesota Wild injuries? Another thing we should say is Marcus Johansson. In the Oilers game last night versus the Minnesota Wild, there's a little bit of a play that has caused a bit of discourse. It'll probably be playing at the screen as I'm talking, but McDavid kind of, in my opinion, I am a bit of a homer, but I'll try to keep it as non-biased as possible. McDavid didn't really mean to. I think Marcus Johansson kind of ran into him. Like, that wasn't a purposeful elbow. He kind of just kept his head down. But Marcus Johansson is on injury reserve. And this is because of possible concussion testing. They really just don't want to put him on the ice after what happened because he went down pretty hard. This is something that the injuries that the Minnesota Wild have gone to have been a little bit interesting, you know? But another thing we should mention, because we've gotten the injuries out of the way, we should talk about why Minnesota Wild is so good in the NHL. This team has been very, very talented and is still putting together wins. This is because of their strong depth, their dangerous core with so many good players on their roster, and especially some good goaltender. There have been some other things we should say, but people like Brock Faber, the defenseman on the Minnesota Wild, have been absolutely bonkers.